Hello and welcome to an Amulet stream. Today we're going to be trying out some interesting new cards that I've been wanting to take a shot at for a minute. And first one of the two, I guess it's a couple more, but Lair the Hydra. Yes, this card has been kind of interesting. I have tried this in the past and I was not particularly impressed. But I've heard both Muniz and Punt talk about this card and how powerful it's been, and it kind of has piqued my interest again. Maybe I didn't give it enough credit when I actually tried the card when this set was spoiled or legal or whatever. So I'm gonna give it another shot. What this is basically like a threat that we can get after resolving a prime time, which is sometimes something that you need to happen, right? Like also it's something that can pressure planeswalkers. It's something that can potentially crew the other card that we're going to be trying out today. So it has some things going for it. So I'm interested in giving that a shot and seeing how this works out. Also, I've seen a lot of people moving towards battlements, so I was thinking about trying out battlements, but then I looked at my stronghold, my Sanhon, and my Warriors Garrison, and how much happiness they brought me. So I couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm also gonna be playing two Cultivator Colossus. We're not gonna be playing Karn here, even though I still think Karn is very good in the format. I think that Karn lines up very, very well against the cards that people are bringing in against you. So because of that, I think that the way that I look at it is I feel like this list is a little bit more, in a way, more spiky. Like this is more powerful, more explosive, and obviously Colossus can present some ridiculous board states, while Karn, on the other hand, doesn't allow you to have this much explosive power, but it allows you to not get hosed so easily because it presents an angle of attack that doesn't care about the hate that people often bring against you, and it also just lines up well against those hate cards, and even against matchups like Belcher, for example, which you are very, very unlikely to beat with a deck list like this. Karn turns that into a much, much better matchup. So I think that Karn kind of it gives you some other tools that having I guess not all in, but like more explosive version of the deck brings. But yeah, as I am playing Cultivator, I'm obviously playing one copy of Turntimber Symbiosis. I was thinking about adding another one, maybe cutting a bounce land or something like that, but I've been very, very happy with 10 bounce lands in my deck. That is counting Warriors Garrison, of course. So yeah, couldn't bring myself to do that. If I were to play battlements, I think I would, this like whatever, whichever one you think, that would be another Turntimber, because I'm pretty high on Turntimber in Colossus lists. In the sideboard we have Dismember, and we're gonna be trying another spicy one, Thornscape Battle Mage. This used to be one of my favorite cards when I was a kid because I had like a Fire of Yamimaya deck, and this is one of the cards that taught me what, like you don't need like a 6/6 or something for a card to be good. Like this is just a value card, or like a card with an effect that you may want sometimes. So that was pretty cool. So this card has a special place in my heart. So I'm going to give it a shot right now that Magus is a pretty big problem for us. And even decks like, 4-color Yorion are playing Magus. So because of that, we're trying out Thornscape Battle Mage. Endurances, Force of Vigors, Explosives, nothing new there. The singleton copy of Emrakul the Promised End against 4-color, and as I was saying earlier, copies of Unlicensed Hearse against Blue, Red, and Grixis Shadow. The rest of the sideboard are 3 lands. I am being very, very high with I'm really, really enjoying having lands in my sideboard because I feel like I cut 2 Sagas, or even sometimes more, depending on the matchup, fairly often. So when you do that, you end up in a situation where we're playing 33 lands here, we go down to 29, so we can add some number of these lands and we can keep our land count high, so that we're hitting our land drop. So I think it's actually pretty valuable to have access to at least 2 lands in your side. That's going to be it. So we're going to be playing through a Modern League on Magic Online. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you would like to support my content as well, you can do so in a variety of different ways. You can do so by joining Patreon. You can do so by actually making a donation, and I can play in a list of your choosing when you are on a video right here, or you can also support my content by booking coaching sessions if you're interested in learning about Amulet or Modern as a format, etc. So without anything else, let's play some Magic. All right, this hand is interesting. We can go turn 1 Saga, turn 2 T-West. Yeah, okay. So what we're trying to do here is on turn 3, we're going to be able to Swift Spear. Well, that's a good sign. So the best thing we can draw here is a Basic Force. I think if we draw a Basic Force, we're extremely heavy favorites to win this game. That's still fine. So we're going to be taking some damage from this Swift Spear, but then we're going to be able to fetch our Amulet. Then we're going to be able to play our Gracer and potentially explore. We can even pact for... No, we can't really pack for anything. Never mind. Okay, so I assume my opponent's on burn, which is a good thing for us. Gonna go down to 10 here. We may lose for being on the draw. That's definitely something that could happen here. We may lose because we're on the draw. Another bounce land is basically like not drawing a card. So pass the turn again. Nothing to do here. If my opponent has a triple 1-drop spell, we're gonna lose. And I guess we're probably gonna lose regardless unless we find an Amulet off the top. 4 plus 2 down to 4. Maybe we can... I mean, they have a bunch of spells, so if they don't have another Boros Charm, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. Okay, so maybe we can stabilize here. We're obviously going to find Amulet. We're down to 4. Would be a lot more comfortable if we were at 5, because if I can draw a Radiant Fountain off of Explore. So we find our Amulet. I guess let's go Sanctuary. And I think I'm going to bounce the Sanctuary itself. So now we're going to go Dryad. I think I want to explore. So what's the best thing we can do here? I'm going to need to tap this for green. That's why I didn't bounce the other thing, and I couldn't tap for green before Dryad. So let's tap for green, play Sanctuary. And my goal here is to draw a Radiant Fountain. So green and white to explore. Turn Timber Symbiosis doesn't really... So we can make 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. It's not enough to do anything. So I think we're just gonna play Gracer. Play this. I can't transmute either. Also, I don't think that there's anything I'm transmuting. So we're just gonna play this Gracer, and we're gonna play out the T-West, and then play turn Timber Symbiosis and pass the turn. So if my opponent has a way to kill me here with direct damage, I'm gonna lose. But if they have something like Eidolon, I'm gonna win. So Lava Spike. If they have any other 1-mana burn spell, we lose. That's not a 1-mana burn spell. And that's a lethal Primeval Titan. Okay, so what's the best way to go about this? So I think we're gonna go any length, doesn't matter. And we're gonna play this. I mean, I guess it's just, I guess it's irrelevant. What the only thing that matters is that we have any land here. So what this does, I can now pact. I can get Valakut. I can get Valakut plus Stronghold and kill my opponent. And I can actually trigger Valakut here. Oh yes, always yield. And tap some lands. White, red, haste, dead. Alright, burn. Oh, we don't have a Radiant Fountain. That's true. I totally forgot. I'm so used to having Radiant Fountain. I totally forgot we don't. I mean, clearly not that we need it, as we just showcased. Not that we need it, but yeah, I totally assumed that we had it. I'm gonna cut Symbiosis. Do I want Battle Mage? I don't... this blows up an artifact. If this blew up an enchantment, I think I would bring this in, but... as is, I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to bring in explosives over Colossus, though. And that's going to be it. So the reason I'm bringing in explosives is mostly because of the enchantment that prevents you from gaining life from Roiling Vortex. I'm not particularly scared about my opponent's creatures, but Rolling Vortex can sometimes be problematic. More often than not, it's not, but it can sometimes be an issue. So turn 1 Gracer is effectively unbeatable. So we're going to go turn 1 Gracer, turn 2... I guess we're going to play Valakut off the Gracer. We're keeping this. It's interesting whether we want to play Growth Chamber or like at what point we want to play Growth Chamber. And the reason why I'm saying that it's interesting is because I think we want to hold it in hand in case we draw an Amulet or in case we draw... that's also some pretty bad draws. In case we draw... Yeah, so I think we want, in case we draw Radiant Fountain or Amulet, are 2 reasons to want to hold on to the bounce land. But what I was thinking is that we definitely need to make sure that we have double green so that we can potentially draw a castle and speed up our Titan by a turn. Spend Rift Bolt, bolt your Gracer. Engineered Explosives. Okay. We'll play this for 1. Next turn we're going to play the Gorilla Turf, I think. I'm going to wait until my opponent attacks to crack the explosives, because it prevents them from playing another 1-drop, and if they want to get tricky and don't attack, I just don't crack the explosive. It's a Saga. So explosive effectively gained us 2 life, which is fine. Ooh, it gained us more life, because that would have attacked. I would have gained us 4 life. It's pretty nice. We could back for Dryad here. Prevents me from taking damage from this. Yeah, I'm interested in backing for Dryad here. It also makes my Valakut better. I am, however, going to make sure that I don't randomly die to my opponent having an answer to that. So we're going to play that, and this means that I'm only going to trigger Valakut once next turn, but I think that's fine. Opponent cycling there was obviously great for us. My opponent should have attacked. I can't block. So pay for Pact. Sure. Copy that and copy that. Kill that one. Face you. Always yes, always you. Now I'm gonna attack with Dryad because it's more useful as a blocker. But this game is over. Opponent has only 2 cards in hand. We're at 9 life. Gracer is just so insane in this matchup. Gracer is so absurdly insane. And now they're just telling me I don't have Deflecting Palm and I don't have Smash the Smithereen, so I don't even need to play around anything. This is great. There's this guy. Borders Garrison, Radiant Fountain. Like, this just doesn't matter, right? All of this go to your face. Alright, Sid, wanna know? Easy game versus burn. Okay, this time around we are on the play. This hand is terrible. Ship it. This hand is interesting. It doesn't have a Titan, but we have double Amulet on turn 3, and we have a Cavern of Souls. We do unfortunately have Borders Garrison and Sunhome in hand, so I think I'm gonna mulligan this down to 5. Oh man. Oh. Any untapped land, and this was a turn 2 kill. I think we're gonna go down to 4. And this hand is unkeepable, but I'm down to 4 at this point, so gonna bottom that. I'm somewhat interested in just conceding the game. I'm just gonna play Cavern of Souls and name Human. And like I can't win with this hand. Like this hand is just impossible for me to win. Like it doesn't matter what my opponent does. This is just not gonna be enough to keep up. So this way I can I can get information from what my opponent's playing. Like they're playing Blood Crypt and they're playing a Ragavan deck. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pass it back and I'm just going to wait to see if my opponent gives me more information. But at this point I assume my opponent's on Grixis Shadow and I'm just gonna concede here. We can't win this game. So, Shadow. So we want Endurances. We want Radiant Fountain. Cavern of Souls is medium. Explosives is medium. Hers is fantastic. So don't think we want Cultivator Colossus. I mean, it's possible that I kind of want this in game 1 since my opponent doesn't have information, because they're not super likely to have Dress Down against me. The same thing is true for Ursa's Saga. Like, I'm assuming my opponent's gonna sideboard as it is as they would do against humans, so they're gonna have like removal for small creatures or whatever. At the same time, you know, I have to also kind of assume that my opponent potentially could know my username, and they would know what I'm probably playing here. So I'm still going to like hedge a little bit and like shave one Saga. This is 33 lands as we are right now. I think I'm gonna cut his Sunhome. I think I want Gracer, so I'm gonna cut Explorers. One Amulet. Let's see how this goes. It's possible I should be cutting on a... This hand's great. Like, this is exactly the kind of hand you want against Shadow. It's sort of like we're missing a Gracer. Like, if we had access to a Gracer, this hand would be the actual nuts. But yeah, like this has like a lot of the pieces that I want against Shadow. Black Cliffs. Okay, no Shadow, but they're playing like red-black mid-range, which is fine. Like it's the same thing. The way we would sideboard is exactly the same. Maybe I should have. They're showing me for playing the Semi-Growth Chamber there. The reason being because of Alpine Moon. Because now if my opponent in Alpine Moon's my Sanctuary, like they actually stop 2 lands instead of 1, or like slow down 2 lands instead of just 1. We have a Croxa here, dashed Monkey. This is wrong. My opponent should have played Monkey on turn 1. I don't know why they would dash there. Slayer's Stronghold is gone, which makes things very awkward now. We're gonna Azusa. My opponent could have an Holy Heat, so I'm gonna play Basic Forest first, then the Growth Chamber. Now, if they kill the Azusa, it's kind of whatever. So we can't haste. Have to be mindful of that. Imagine how much better it would be if the Monkey were in play already, as opposed to my opponent's hand. Like they would get to attack. And what's going on here? Magus? It is Magus. Okay. We do have Endurance, which is kind of nice. I'm gonna hold on to one of these lands so I can discard to a Croxa. I guess I can just Pact for Primeval Titan. Oh, wow. They have Grief? Oh, it's black-red garbage. Oh, it's black-red garbage. That's the deck that it is. Okay, yeah, this matchup is actually not great for us at all. Fortunately, it doesn't really change our sideboarding. Like, our sideboarding is pretty much the same. Well, there are those things. I think we're just gonna chill here. Opponent missed the land drop. Like, dude, why did my opponent not play the Monkey on turn 1? I don't get it. Just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it would have been so much better. So I think I won the 3-4 in play. And I'm gonna shuffle my... they could have Persist, I guess, so... There's definitely consideration to shuffle my own Pact again, but... Well, here's a 6-6. So I think we're just gonna get 2 Basic Forests. This means that if I draw a Dryad, this Engineered Explosives can actually answer a Blood Moon. And this Endurance is gonna feel frisky. If opponent wants to trade the Monkey, I think I'm happy with that trade. But I'm racing somewhat comfortably here. Fury Pitching Collins command. Is that gonna deal 4 to my Primeval Titan? Or is it gonna kill my Endurance? Oh, okay, it's gonna kill my Fury. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, I wouldn't have been able to do anything here, so... like, the Endurance would be in my hand, and I wouldn't have been able to stop these Undying Malice from bringing back the Fury anyway, so... Boseiju. Does Boseiju do anything? No, it doesn't. If we were playing the current version, we would be in so much... Like, we would be top decking so much better. But unfortunately, we're not. So we're going to be taking 8 from this. Maybe I should have played out the Explosives for 1. I want to save it, because if I draw a Dryad, I think I'd still rather kill the Magus. I'm going to take 8 here. Next turn, we're going to have to chump. Kind of sad we don't have Thornscape Battle Mage here. Summoner's Pact. So we don't have Colossus. Like, I'm obviously going to Pact here, but what do I want to get? I think I still want to get Primetime. No, I guess not that Colossus would be actually better than a Primeval Titan. So let's get Lair of the Hydra and what? Valakut? Sure. I think I'm going to play Explosives for 1. Just in case. So now we get to block Primetime on Fury. If my opponent has another Undying Malice, we just lose the game, but there's not much we can do about that anyways. Terminate my Primetime. Okay. So, pretty happy that I did not... that I just played out the explosives here. But I think we can't win anymore now. Because we have to chump... Oh, never mind. Well, we're actually just... Alright, sweet. So I guess my opponent knew my name. And they sideboarded into Magus and stuff. Anyway, see you next round. Round number 3. Heinous hand. And like this Colossi really find their way into my hand. Reliably. This hand looks a lot better. I think I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna bottom the redundant Dryad. Maybe that's worse than keeping the Gracer, but I think that there's a pretty reasonable chance that my opponent's just playing a deck Gracer's good against. Hey, look at that. I mean, as long as we keep getting paired against Monastery Swift Spear decks, I think we're gonna be just fine. I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, yeah. So I guess now our Saga can go find Expedition map, which is nice. And our mana is already set up. Would love to dodge Searing Blaze, but if they have it, it's not the end of the world. Second Swift Spear. Okay. I think I'm probably gonna just make a blocker here. Like, I'm obviously blocking. And opponent just passes the turn. Valakut. Okay. So what I can do here is I can go Cavern into Explore. So Cavern Amulet into Explore. Or I can go Dryad plus Valakut, which puts a 2/4 into play. I think I'm going to go for Dryad plus Valakut. That means that I'm going to untap with 4 mana plus an Amulet. But I kind of want to protect this Dryad. The problem is if I don't play Dryad now, I'm not going to play it for a while. Because I'm kind of interested in making Saga tokens next turn. So let's play Cavern on Giant, and we're just going to go... We're just going to go Dryad into Valak. Lots of options in that specific turn. Definitely an interesting one. I think this turn I'm just going to block with Gracer, and I'm not going to block with the Dryad. Unless my opponent just decides to tap out, which would be great. Manamorphose. So it's red-white Prowess, it's not burn. Well, that changes things a lot. I'm a lot more scared of red-white Prowess than I am scared of burn. By a pretty significant margin. Right, opponent fetch shock. What you got? Show me. 3 mana. Illuminator Virtuoso. Crash through. Okay. So Dryad's obviously blocking, and I think I'm just taking 3 here, huh? They have a 0-drop? Oh my god, they have 0-drop. I mean, that's kind of fine. They have mutagenic growth. So I guess I can mutagenic growth here. Trigger this, miss on a bunch of damage. Okay, so they're mutagenic growth here. Which means that we take 6, which is kind of fine. And then my opponent's down to a single card in hand. So now we can make a 3/3. And I think I'm getting Expedition map as opposed to Amulet. If I get Amulet, I can play this tapped and explore. The problem is I'm missing the lands and I'm also missing the Titan, so I kind of don't want to play this out. So I'm going to get Expedition map, and I'm just going to play Amulet here. I actually probably can't hold on to this, like I have to play it out. We're going to have to draw a bounce land. And we're going to have to figure out a way to make things work. So if I find a bounce land, this Explorer is free, so I have 2 looks at a Primeval Titan, which is kind of okay. Bolt my Construct. Okay. Let's see what the last card in hand is. We're blocking the Virtuoso here, because it's the one that has the potential of dealing the most damage. You have Manamorphose. Gross. Yeah, I'm a lot more scared of this strategy than I am of burn, and you can see why. I mean, to be fair, like our hand just did not function, obviously, but you see how much more threatening this is. So even if they have mutagenic growth, this is still not lethal, and it would be if they growth on the Virtuoso, so it's better to block there. Setolaria West. Do we have the time? So let's explore, see what we find. Lair of the Hydra. So what I can do is I can crack for Growth Chamber, play this, play Growth Chamber, transmute, and set up for next turn. I think that's the play. The other alternative would be to play Lair of the Hydra and activate it to block, but that I think means that I can't win unless I get extremely lucky. So I'd rather just set up a situation where I can have lethal otherwise. And like this means 6 mana plus Primeval Titan, it's a lethal attack, like we just swing for 20. So if I don't die on this turn, I'm gonna win. We do die to a lot of cards though. We do die to very many cards. Not that one. We don't die to that one. We do die to Lightning Bolt. We die to Bolt. It's just objectively better for me to block here. We survived? Sick. Alright. Just don't draw. Okay, I was gonna say just don't draw the card that killed. That means that I can't win, but that's not the... So second Amulet makes things a little bit easier even. Just faster, less clicks. So we're gonna Pact, Primeval Titan, play Primetime, not playing around Path to Exile because we can't beat it. Fortress Garrison, Slayer Stronghold. Gonna stack our triggers. We're gonna haste our boy. If we were playing Slayer Stronghold, we would have lost this game. If we were playing Battleman, sorry. We attack, get Vesuva, plus... I guess we can keep the Vesuva in the deck, just get Sunhome and Sanctuary, which trigger switch. These are Sunhomes. Float, double strike, doesn't matter. Bounce that, you're dead. Even if they grow the Seeker, we have double strike, so they don't get to gain the life. Sweet, got there. On turn 5. We didn't have that much time left. Alright, Engineer Explosives, love it. Radiant Fountain, love it. Dismember, question mark? I think I like it anyways. Boseiju. Is it finally the time for Thornscape to shine? I mean, it would have been the time to shine last game, but we didn't know. So Colossus, probably not where we want to be in this kind of matchup. Like, Primetime just wins regardless. I'm trying to think whether I'm interested in Endurance as an early blocker. I don't think I am. I'm probably interested in Boseiju instead of Cavern of Souls, though. Don't think I care for Force. I think this is what I want. Yeah, I think this is the setup I want. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have it one more time. This hand is garbage. Ship it. This hand is also garbage. Doesn't go anywhere. Ship it. This hand is the best of the bunch. Still pretty bad. But it has a route towards winning. So we're going to keep this. We're going to bottom... I think Forest and Dryad. So turn Timber is hopefully going to be the way that we get a Primetime, and we have to draw a bounce land. We're going to go turn 1 Saga into Amulet. Clever Lumimancer. This card is very scary for us. Dismember, not the same. So I think Dismember, Basic Forest is a wasted draw step. Without a bounce land, we're not winning this game regardless. So we need to find a bounce land, or otherwise we're not. Leonin Lightscribe. Interesting. So this is a setup turn. I would not be surprised if my opponent can 20 me next turn, however. Ah, yes, this is great. Everything's going according to plan. Everything's going according to plan. Not. Turn Timber is gonna net me some mana if I need it, but it's not gonna be enough. Like I think. Ooh, okay. So you're saying there's a chance, because that doesn't have haste. So I can top deck a bounce land. If we top deck a bounce land, we may get there. Okay, opponent tanks for a second and then finally attacks with Leonin Lightscribe, and that's okay. We untap. So I just have to get a bounce land, don't I? I get bounce land. I play the land. This is just terrible. So I think I can't. If I go for Expedition Map to get bounce land, I think I literally can't win this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically gonna throw the Dryad under the bus, and I'm gonna go get an Amulet here, and we're gonna play Turn Timber. No, I guess we can't play Turn Timber tapped. We can play Vesuva, copying. I have to play the Turn Timber if I want to play both of them. It's unclear that I want to play both, but I definitely want to play the Dryad because it's the one that has the most, that's most likely to survive. And if I draw a bounce land, which I think I need in order to win this game, then I can bounce the Turn Timber anyway. So I think it's fine to play out the Turn Timber. Maybe this is wrong. I don't think it is though. This also means I get to play both here. So we're gonna play Azusa, play land, and play Vesuva, copying what? We have enough green mana, I think, so I'm just gonna copy Vantage. I'm gonna play Dryad, and we're gonna be really sad because we don't have the mana for... Like, we have to draw a bounce land. It's the only card that matters. Because I don't think I'm surviving 2 turns. I could have drawn Engineered Explosives and blown up the Light Scribe. Maybe that could have bought me enough time. But I think that I'm going to need to be doing some chomping here. Opponent has also Metamorphose, which is the best card they can have. Ay. Just gonna have 6. We're not really bluffing anything. We have no cards in hand, so. Illuminator Virtuoso. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think Dryad's gonna have to chomp. So Dryad chomps a Lumimancer. We take 14. We die to any spell. But if we find Bounce Land into Turn Timber into Primetime, I guess we can't win because we drew our Vesuva, so we can't. We're still dead. Mutagenic Growth is also lethal because it's effectively plus a gazillion damage. Would not have gotten there. Okay, game 3. This is just way too awkward, isn't it? Like, this is just not even worth attempting to do. Yeah, this is just terrible. We're just gonna submit the same. The good thing is it looks like our opponent has basically no interaction. So we're just gonna be racing and that's it. Like, I don't think they're gonna be able to stop what we're doing. So if we have a reasonable draw, maybe they have something like the Shatter with Replicate or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to just not play around anything. And I'm just supposed to not mulligan into Oblivion like I've been doing this past couple of games. On the play, hand is once again garbage. Where are my good hands? I guess this one's keepable. So what are we doing? I think we're bottoming Turn Timber. Bottom Turn Timber. Turn 1 at Ursa Saga. Turn 2 Explore. Turn 3 if we find... And I can't play Engineered Explosives on 1. But if I find a bounce land, which I'm going to have 3 looks at, I can win. It's not the worst odds. And I doubt that my opponent can turn to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can, but it's going to be extremely, extremely unlikely. I'm probably going to play these explosives on 1. And if I'm playing EE on 1, and I'm just going to be doing it to slow my opponent down, I'm still fetching the Amulet off the Saga. Like, I don't have to crack it. I can just have it in play. Bounce land? Amulet. Okay. Well, now if I do find a bounce land, we do actually win. Bounce land. Alright. Well, there's that. So, can we please not draw Boros Garrison or the other one, Slayer Stronghold? Because if I drew either one of those, it would be heartbreaking. Okay, opponent plays lands, fetches. I'm at 19. There's no way I can die from 19, right? Right? No way I can die from 19. Just no way. Impossible. Is that Deflecting Palm? So here's my Amulet. So I think I'm not gonna attack. Because I can't lose, right? I can play explosives and hold it up. So I think I'm just going to go for Primetime. Bounce. What do we bounce here? I think we want to bounce the basic forest. Although I guess we can hold this to activate. So I think we're going to bounce the castle even though it's a little bit awkward. Like I wish for the castle to stay in play. I could also just bounce the Gruul Turf, which means more mana with these. Yeah, so let's go for Primeval Titan. And we're just gonna get like Growth Chamber plus T-West. We're gonna spend this turn to transmute. This also plays around Path to Exile very nicely. Because I can't cast a Primeval Titan. I'm pretty sure I'm 1 mana short. So because of that, just gonna transmute here. What if we transmute for Dryad? Get Dryad, we played... Oh, we can't haste, so yeah, that's just stupid. That is just stupid. Alright, here we go. And obviously I'm gonna have to blow up my own amulets, but like it just doesn't matter, right? Like I can't lose here. And my opponent just wasted their turn. Next turn I'm gonna be attacking with 2 Titans, so Deflecting Palm doesn't matter. And for Deflecting Palm to matter anyway, I would need to... they would need to pass the turn once again, and then I just do exactly what I just did. Tapping Fire Amulet is weird. Okay. Well, this probably means that I can't lose now, right? Because I don't really have to block. Or I could just block and just kill them with the second Primeval Titan. They're tapped out now. I could also just block with Primetime, force my... Oh, they had Path. Okay. Well, here I just don't have to do anything. We're just gonna wait till my opponent does something. They know I have another Titan, though. So if they tap out, they lose. And the good thing is I don't have to crack these explosives. Like, this explosive is just chilling here. So I think we got them in the lock. Yeah. So this is not lethal. So I just don't do anything, and I just kill them with Primetime. And they're tapped out. So unless they can threaten lethal here, which they can't, I guess they could just, like, have 4 Mitigating Growth in hand, but if they do that, I just crack the explosives. And sure. Is that one lethal? No? Okay, so we do nothing. Take 9. 9 is not 16. Perfect. This one is indeed gonna kill you. We could also go for double Primetime here. Sure, let's have some fun. It's more fun to go for double Primeval Titan. Why haste 1 Primeval Titan when you can haste 2 of them? Why have your opponent dead when you can have them deader? You know what I'm saying? What is Kerrison's Lair Stronghold? So winning game 1 is OP. Haste that one. Haste the other one too. That doesn't matter. Attack. Get very Gruul Turf. There we go. See. Alright, see you in the front. Oh wow, we have like a legit very good hand here. I'm not worthy. Yeah, keep this. A legitimately good hand. Oh man, we're just gonna get discarded into death. Blood Crypt into discard spell. Nihil Spell. Okay, Nihil Spellbomb I can beat. I think I want to play Grazer for monkey reasons. Just for monkey reasons. There's the possibility that this is a mistake, because now I open myself up to Thoughtseize on the... or to Inquisition on the Amulet. But I think monkey is definitely a consideration when my opponent goes turn 1 Blood Crypt. Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter. That's a funny draw. Play that. By funny draw, of course, I mean like absolutely worthless. But you know, who's to judge? Bounce that. Bounce this other thing. Unless this is something to pitch to Croxa, so it's not the worst possible draw, even though it is. But it's important to make sure that we look at the glass half full. Should have attacked with the Ren with Grazer. So this is just John Saga, I assume, huh? Playing out the Boseiju is very interesting. Like, I guess they just don't have a green source. Because Boseiju is like their literal best card against me. Far and away their best card. So they either have an... No, they had the Catacombs, though. Interesting. Okay, so they do have another Boseiju then. So they do have another Boseiju here. That's the only explanation that I can find. Oh, or not, that they're just super dead. That's also, I guess, another explanation. Let's just make this amount of mana here. Just a moderately high amount of mana. Here's a Prime Boy. They didn't interact with my land so far, so I'm assuming that they have no ways of doing it. But they could have Terminate, however. I think they had Terminate and they were waiting to see whether I was going to do something like haste the Primetime like an idiot. Okay, Endurance against John Saga. Decent. Unlicensed Hearse. also decent. Engineered Explosives, also decent. And I think I like Boseiju, and I do like Bojukubog. Radiant Fountain's fine. I think I want to cut 2 Sagas. I think I'm going to cut 1 Cultivator. We're going to cut maybe 1 Amulet, but not more than that. Cut down 1 Azusa. Azusa's very good in the matchup, but I think it's worse than Dryad. If I see Boil, I'm going to cut a couple of Dryads instead of cutting Azusa. Grace are pretty important against Monkey. We have 33 lands. I guess I would go to 32. Cut the Expedition map. Maybe 1 Explore. I'm not too fond of Cultivator, but like we do have Turn Timber, and like it's just so much better when we do have access to Cultivator. My issue with Cultivator in matchups like this is by the time you get to the point where you can cast a Cultivator, you don't have any more cards in hand. So Cultivator is just like a 7 mana, 5/5 or something like that. So I'm not the biggest fan of Cultivator. I am a fan of Explore, but I think that I want to keep the singleton copy of Cultivator in case of some sort of extraction effect or whatever. This hand is kind of sketchy. It does have Azusa. Yeah, I'm just trying to justify a hand that's not keepable. This is worse. This is better. Keep this. Bottom Cultivator. I'm gonna bottom Vesuva. So this hand has a plan. Opponent's got discard spells, which is bad. There goes my Grazer, which means that we have a super slow hand now. Oh, they got my Pact? Okay. Huh. I feel like you should take the Grazer there. I guess they don't have a Ragavan draw. But now I can draw like a Dryad or an Azusa, and all of a sudden we are in top deck primetime and win mode. Okay. Didn't have the chance to play Bog, unfortunately, so I'm going to save it. Nothing I want to play for 4 mana, so just going to chill here. Boseiju would be an issue, particularly if my opponent plays it properly and never gives me the window to Bog the Boseiju away. Liliana. I think I'm going to discard the group. Kind of punished there. So I guess we're going to discard Bojugabog. This Lily is a little bit of a problem. Little bit of a problem. Ursa Saga. Whew! Alright. I guess I'm not going to concede just yet, but it's very unlikely that I win this game. So I need to just like naturally draw land into Primeval Titan. Okay. I mean, that's something. It's sort of the lazy and avoidable because like this ultimate is still looming, and the ultimate's gonna beat me just because it's gonna destroy one of my lands. So yeah, there's nothing I can draw that can allow me to pressure this Liliana. So I think that's gonna be game. Seasoned Pyro. Boil an Alpine Moon? Why would you show me this? Why would you show me that you're playing Boil? The game is done. The game is over. Why would you show me Boil? That's wild. Okay, I mean, I'll take that information for sure. I'll take that information. Opponent makes a construct. Honestly, constructs are going to be enough to beat me here, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I would have just made a construct if I had been my opponent there. All right. They probably have Terminate, but that's still the correct thing to keep. Okay, so my opponent does have Boil, so I'd rather cut the Dryads, bring back the Azusa, and they are... So I think I'm going to bring in back the Amulet, but I'm going to cut a Saga. Do I want to bring in Force? I don't think so. I think I'd rather have Explore. Yeah, let's go with this. On the play, medium hand. Yeah, I'll keep it. We're going to go turn 1, turn Timber. I'm basically not going to play this Saga until... so Turn Timber is just going to, come down and just sit there doing nothing until eventually it can become a threat in the late game. But I'm just going to have like a slow endurance hand. My best draw is probably Grazer. I'm not going to play Saga into a potential Alpine Moon. I'm going to play the Saga on turn 3 once I already know that I can already tap the land for mana at least once. Alternatively, I could just sit on the Saga because I have Castle. So this can be land number, the 5th mana that I need for Castle. That's probably better, actually. Considering I'm going to be casting Endurances up the curve anyways. Verdant Catacombs go. I like that. I like Verdant Catacombs go. Ciatora's Proving ground? I think this is proving. Who knows? Who knows how words are pronounced anyways? So now we have an option that we can go Azusa into land. I really wish to find a bounce land. If we find a bounce land, we're going to be in really good shape. The thing is, I kind of want... Oh, there we go. They're probably going to name Saga. Semi-growth chamber? That's not it, opponent. Well, now we're in extremely good shape. So play that out. Get Azusa. Play this. And I think I'm just going to play that. And bounce 1, 2, 3. I think I'm going to bounce turn. I may get punished by this. Because they could have like second Alpine Moon into Thoughtseize. And now I don't have the mana to cast Primeval Titan. If they Thoughtseize my land though, they don't Thoughtseize my Primeval Titan. So I think this is still better. Alright, there's your Saga. Honestly, I'm not sure that they should have Beating Needle in their deck. Also, this art is so gruesome. Creepy art. This is the creepiest out of all the Beating Needle arts. Okay. So you have to be mindful of this thing, but I don't think it matters. We're still doing this. Opponent needs to have... What's his name? I think I want to go for max mana. So we're going to go Growth Chamber, Gruul Turf here. We could go Sanctuary or probably Gruul Turf, Lair of the Hydra. That's another interesting combination. Like, I think my opponent has a way to kill this Primeval Titan. So no, I don't want to rely on it too much. Huh. Double bounce allows me to hardcast Endurance, but then that means I play out my Symbiosis. We do have one Colossus. Could also go bounce land plus Visage to get rid of this. Man, so many options. I think I'm gonna go. I'm definitely getting Gruul Turf. This is the easy part. The question is, am I getting a second Turf or something else? I could get Boros Garrison. Let's just go for Boros Garrison. I just want to maximize the amount of mana that I have access to. Bounce that, bounce this, play this, play this. And we're gonna pass the turn. I'm not gonna attack because if my opponent wants to dash a monkey, I'm gonna chump. There's the terminate we knew about. Oh, suspected, I guess. Technically did not know about it, but we did. They probably have to take turn Timber here. And then we just execute some serious Endurance beatdown. I think I cut the Expedition map, which is kind of sad because it's what I would go get here. Okay, so upkeep, pay for Pact. That's pretty good. Make a construct, get an amulet, pass the turn. Opponent makes a construct, which is not going to cut it. They could have another Thoughtseize. It needs to be a Thoughtseize because otherwise I can just Pact in response. So Inquisition doesn't do it. But if they do have another Thoughtseize, we could be in trouble because the constructs actually outgrow my endurances. Opponent gets Shadow Speed. No blocks, opponent. No blocks. No slow rolling here. we're not slow rolling anybody here. Alright. Jump Saga down. Okay, opponent's playing Pokemon over there. This probably means either mono red or Grixis Shadow. This hand's obviously terrible against both, so here we go to 5 again. I've mulliganed to 5 so much today. It's pretty wild. Keep this, bottom that, and bottom that, I think. I think this is what gives me the best shot at winning this game. Because I can go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Castle Explore, find a land, and then if I find a bounce land, I can turn 3 Titan. Turn 1 Monkey would be devastating. Yep. Which is the reason to keep the Gracer, obviously. But I think it's one thing to play to not lose, and it's a different one to play to win. And I think that this is the hand that wins me the game. Versus a hand that loses, but a little bit more slowly. Draw the Lock is the card to beat here. Well, I guess Thoughtseize and stuff like that as well, obviously, but those we can't really beat. Oh, there's the Gracer. Good, because we wouldn't have wanted to draw that at this. It is indeed Grixis Shadow. Shredder into Thoughtseize is gross. Shredder into Gracer is not so bad. Bounce land. So we're gonna play Castle because I could draw Ursa Saga, and if I do, I'd like to play it. Play well, rewarded, blah blah. That worked out. Kind of awkward how Summoner's Pact will trigger Ledger Shredder regardless. Take 3 here. Opponent finds an Amulet. My Amulet. That's the land you're tapping, opponent? Okay, I like that. Discarding Draw Underlock. Discarding another Draw Underlock. Well, I'm liking this. So I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna play land, and we're just gonna say go. We're just gonna make a construct. Forces my opponent to spend a mana in their turn, to tap out in their turn as well. Starting off with Duration. Thoughtseize. Okay. They have to take Summoner's Pact. I'm assuming they don't have Draw Underlock number 3. If they do, they should just take probably the Colossus, I guess. Take Dryad. Okay. Make a dude. They can have like Holy Heat, Shock, whatever. So any land is lethal, I think. Born Exile, Sunhome. Okay, not lethal anymore. So now I'm dead in the air. Man, how hard is it for a deck with 33 lands to hit a land drop, man? It's pretty brutal. We also cantripped. We're just 1 mana short. Crack, get bounce land, Pact for Gracer. We're one mana short of Colossus. Yeah, we're just... That sucks, man. That really sucks. Opponent played very poorly and still didn't matter at all. We just drew like garbage. And mulligan to 5 in the process. But it's okay. It's okay. We get more. So, cut 2 of these. Cut 1 Colossus because of Dress Down. I'm gonna leave in Boseiju, I think. Cavern is fine. Lair is actually kind of interesting. I'm into it. Bojuga Bog is good. Maybe I want to cut 1 Cavern, actually. Maybe I just don't want to bring more Caverns. So Expedition Map can go. Why did I bring in Emrakul? That was a misclick. I did not want this card in the matchup. 13 drop is not going to cut it. I think I just cut the Colossus because of Dress Down. We play it like this. Huh. Well, I'm going to keep this hand, because otherwise I'm going to move to 5 again, so... no, this hand is fine, though. We lose to... What's his name, though? To Alpine Moon. But I think it's fine. Like, I'd much rather these be one of my green sources. Opponent moves to 6. Play Saga, pass the turn. Hopefully dodge the turn 1 Monkey. I'd rather see a discard spell than Monkey here. That's a Steam Vents. DRC. Okay. DRC is more beatable than Monkey. Gruul Turf. Man. The Magic Gods are not with me today. The Magic Gods are not with me. I'm kind of surprised by my opponent. Just both games they fetch Steam Vents in turn 1. Feels so weird to me. Alright. I guess that's what's up. Oh man. Things are not working out today, huh? Sure. Thoughts is away, my friend. Dress Down being discarded? Terminate being discarded? What? I'm so confused, man. My opponent has played this game so weird, like both games. Like those are literally their best cards in the matchup. Opponent's just beating them like that. Now if I draw an untapped land, I just get to kill them straight up. But of course I won't. This has been pretty frustrating. This has been a pretty frustrating match. What's this? Replay that. And I think I'm just going to play one of these Gracers. Sure, my opponent gets to connive, but I think it's important for me to be able to like chump block here. I'm going to play around Croxa, so I'm not going to play out this Gracer. Calling as Command also discarded. I am so confused. I mean, I guess I'm playing around Calling as Command fairly effectively, so that makes more sense. But the Dress Down on the Terminate, I just don't understand. Oh, we're blocking the Shredder because it's free. So they just have... Okay. So now we just pass the turn and make a construct. That Endurance was a very good draw. Do I want to upkeep this Endurance? I don't think I do. I think I wait for my opponent to do whatever they're going to do. Heat my Gracer. I think we'll let that go. And now we upkeep. But wait, there's more. Terminate my Dryad. Okay. Beaning Iteration. Oh no, they discarded it because of Shredder. Okay. Well, there's a Croxa, so I don't want my opponent to untap and be able to find a line. Actually, does that matter? Yeah, I'm just gonna upkeep this endurance. So now they don't have a clock anymore. That sucks, man. All right, I'm gonna back right now. You had one draw step, opponent, and it was a round lock. Of course, your single draw step was a round lock. What else would it be? But the reason I did that there is because now we can make another construct for our troubles. Of course, opponent had one draw step, right? Let's play one of these. So, this connives. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Dress down this card in the face of the constructs. Interesting. Okay, pass the turn. Dude's a 4/6 though. That's no joke. I mean, maybe I should have played the other Gracer there actually. Also, my opponent sees 4 cards and just has Delirium straight up. Come on, dude. This is so ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. All right. I mean, Primeval Titan or bust. Can we get there? This was outrageous, honestly. Like, I can't believe what happened. Opponent says 1 card. Anyway, whatever. You saw it. I don't have to talk about it. All right, wrapping things up. Sorry I got a little bit carried away in that last match, but that was frustrating, man. That was really frustrating. Anyways, this list was, I don't know. I just don't like Cultivator right now. This is a personal thing. Like, this is very, very much a personal thing. I don't really like Cultivator that much. I feel like it's rarely... The chances where it wins you a game that you couldn't win otherwise are not that often, really. Like, it doesn't really happen that often. I think that the card is good. Like, obviously it's worth playing Amulet mostly because of the 4-color matchup. But I don't think that trying to build your deck to maximize this card is really where you want to be, because this card is more often than not easy to set up. Like, we saw like how many times I would find myself in a situation where, like, even if I could cast the Cultivator, like, it wouldn't do anything for me, because at that point I just don't have that many lands. So Cultivator only is good whenever you have resolved 1 or 2 Primeval Titans already, and at that point it's like a way to close the door, right? Whereas Karn is a way to bridge the gap. So also the fact that it gets got by Dress Down and cards like that makes it not particularly exciting either for me. But yeah, I mean, this list is kind of fine. Like, I wish we had seen Lair in action. We unfortunately did not find a chance to do so. But the rest about the mana base feels okay. Maybe I should try Battlements once and for all. Probably the next video I do on Amulet is gonna be with Battlements. So I finally get to like try that out. We did get paired against Magus, but I didn't bring in the Battle Mage, so obviously we didn't see that in action. Yeah, I think Hers is fine. Like, I'm not super high on the card, but I'm really willing to try this out some more. But lots of things to be trying in Amulet right now, which is exciting. So I could see myself making some more Amulet content in the upcoming weeks. I do still want to keep working on the Druid deck. The devoted Druid deck that with Karn and stuff. I like that Karn a fair amount, so that list a fair amount, so we probably will continue to play some of that, but you will probably see more Amulet than you've been seeing lately in the channel, which is probably good news for most people. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video, folks. Take care, and bye-bye.